Hi, what's good YouTube? Chris K here from Treatment Revolution, bringing a deck profile of my Mermail Atlantean deck. So I just came back from class and then I've been to the Toronto Regionals and it was last Saturday and I did okay, I guess. I didn't top, but still great. Still had fun there, so I'll show you the deck. I ran 1 Rolling Glacier. Such a good card. 2 Abyss Megalo, MVP of the deck. It searches Abyss Spheres, blow cards up when you discard it for effects, and pretty much a beater, and take twice too. So I also run 2 Lins because Lin's just broken with gets sent to graveyard. It can special summon any Mermail monsters and it's pretty good. And I run 2 Abyss Spikes. This allows you to search a level 3 water monsters by discarding 1. So you can, if you bring it out with Lin, you can discard a Atlantean monster to do shit to your opponent, I guess. For the Atlanteans, I ran 3 Dragoons, 3 Marksmen, and 2 Infantries. All the effect works in the graveyard, so it's needed. And I ran 2 Deep Sea Divas. It's like a tour guide for waters. Instant synchro for level 5s and level 2s and 4s. Rank 2s and 4s. I only ran 2 Gen X Undyne and 2 Gen X Controller. Because normally I would like to search it out and not play it out first turn because I want to keep the element of surprise for my opponents and keep them guessing what am I playing, and it works well. And normally if I already have 1 Gen X controller, the 3rd and 2nd Gen X is useless. So I just ran 2. Ran 2 Maxis. Maxi actually won me like 2 games. It was pretty tough match, like every one of the matches is tough, and I played at least 4 to 5 Mermail Atlantean players, like mirror matches, and 1 Gorse. Gorse is good by itself. And then for the magics, we have the staples, Monster Reborn, Heavy, and Dark Hole. Pretty good card. And I ran 1 Mind Control because whenever I have Mind Control and Atlantean monster, it's auto game for my opponent, so I take in 1. Normally people don't play this card. And then we need the Avarice, Allure, and the Salvage, which allows you to +1 or 2 at least. And then I play 3 Mystical Space Typhoon because as expected, I played a few macro dinos. It's pretty tough, and my opponents always side in macro cosmos and fissures. It's so pain in the ass to deal with them. So I rather run 3 of them other than other cards. So it actually helped me won 2 games. Like I keep amnestaying their good spells and traps when they set it. And then it actually opens up their field, and then I just went for OTK next turn. Then I ran 2 Abyss Spheres, broken card, which is you can special summon 1 Atlantean monster from Mermail monster from your deck. And then the only downside is if you get if this card is negated by Royal Decree or Trap stuns, it will stay on your field and you cannot activate any spell cards. That's a ruling that you guys need to take care of. So try not to get trap stuns and stuff. And then I ran 2 TT. TTs are very good for this deck. Like I actually had a very tough matchup against a Macro Rabbit deck. He was a nice guy, but he had a Doka and I think a Catastro on the field. I was like, no outs. And then he had Macro on the field. And then I was like, shit, what am I supposed to do? So I set this card and then I summoned Undyne and then I asked, "Is the summon okay?" He said it was fine, and then I TT, and it probably made me won the game. So this card is definitely needed. One compulse, like instant answers to Zen mains and Gachi Gachi, and even Doka. I hate Doka so much. They always make it. I don't know why. And then Mirror Force is a very good card. And then the two last cards is Bottomless Trap Hole. This actually wants me games like I was playing another mirror match, and then I bottomless all his monsters and he has nothing. So I OTK him next turn. Yep, I played 24 monsters, 10 spells and 8 traps, so that's 42 cards. For the extra decks, I played one Armory Arm, one Catastor, made him all day. TG Hybridian, I made it against what's it called? Macro Rabbit. And then DeLorean, I actually won the game because of him. I think I was playing my first match, Chaos Agents, and then I had a lot of magics in my hand. I had nothing on the field that I can get through BLS, and then I summoned this and then set all my spell traps, used the effect of DeLorean, make it like 35 and ran over his BLS, and set all my back rows again. It was fun. One Black Rose needed but never made him once. DeLorean made him every time. Blows my opponent's card and attack for game. It's like a giant monster to get rid of too. And then I ran Stardust Dragon. It was pretty good, but I never brought him out once. And Scrap Dragon, I never brought it out too. It was all tight matches. I had no extra cards to make this card. Then for Xyz, I ran Gachi Gachi Ganhetsu, definitely needed. One Daigasto Phoenix, I made him once for OTK, but just that once. Zenmains to stall for mirror match and stuff. Leviathan, definitely needed, because the Atlantean monsters triggers effect like Marksman. I can use the effect of Leviathan, gain 500 attack, and the Marksman got sent to the graveyard and pop one of my opponent's face down monster. And not everyone know this ruling, but I faced someone who's playing Chaos Dragons, and he set a Raikou, then he passed the turn to me. I made Leviathan, and then he actually called a judge when I used the effect of discarding, detaching Marksman to the graveyard, so it works. And then blows his Raikou up and go for game. And then Abyss Dweller, a good card to use against Dark World. I didn't play any Dark Worlds last Saturday, so I was surprised. And a good tag card of my own is Gargoyle Cowboy, which if I attack everything and he drops a ghost at the last minute, I can still overlay, go for game and burn him for 800 attack. And still I can get over big monsters if I could make this card. But I wished I had ran Bahamut Shark instead, because there's the game that I played Macro Rabbit, and then he was like, he summoned Doka, and then I summoned this, and I can do nothing except for defending myself. And the last card is Big Eye. Definitely need it. I got killed by this card, sadly in the mirror match, but it was fun. It was fun. Plus the side deck, I ran 2 Snowman Eater side deck. Snowman Eater won me games because my opponent keep running into it and then make themselves destroy a monster, and I still have my monster. It's definitely needed. Then I ran one Fossil Dyna, last minute change, because I just remembered that Fossil Dyna is good, and then I just ran one. It actually helped me with my 5th match against Chaos Dragons. He had Gores, BLS, like Pulsar and Shenanigans in his hand. He cannot even do anything, and then I just keep attacking for 12 and then summon my monster and kill him. and then he can do nothing. I Bottomless his Lilas too when he summoned it, so he has no outs to this card. It definitely won me the game. I played 2 Leeching the Light, since I was expecting Chaos Dragons and Chaos Agents, and they will have big monsters like Hyperion, BLS. It's a card too good not to be played, so I'll just tag them in. It actually won me 1 game because it helped me won a game, and there was a close game when I played a hero. He summoned his Shining, and then I used Leeching the Light, but unfortunately he has Honors in his hand, so I still lost the game. Oh well, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I ran the personal attack of mine to enemy controllers, never helped me once. I sided them in and kept giving me negative results, so if I would take out anything in the side deck, I'll take out these 2 cards for something else. I ran 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors for Insektors, which I really played in my last round, the 9th. It was against a friend of mine, his name is Bill. He is a good friend of mine who lives in the same building, but we actually said what just happened, and we had to play each other at the last game. Oh, it was so bad. And then 2 Golden Mesh for windups. Surprisingly and luckily, I never played any windup players, so this card is dead by now. 2 Mind Crush for Mirror Match. So good. Get rid of a lot of stuff. I didn't even see any plan playing spellbooks, so that card is sometimes dead, but still useful in a sense. And personal attack of mine, which I have to give a shout out to Bill again, the guy who lives upstairs. He told me that this card is better than Dust Tornado because it does the same job, and when your opponent is destroyed by a card effect, I can pop a face-up card on the field. So such a good card not to run. Alright, that's all for my deck profile, Mermail Atlantean. So have fun, guys.